Right, back again, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. Now, I'm still basically where I was the last time we met. And here, over on the left-hand side, we have this house, Millbank. Now, this was built for a firm called Imperial Chemical Industries, ICI, which was an amalgamation of a number of chemical firms in 1926. And eventually, as I say, it was one of the leading companies in this country for many, many, many decades. And it was eventually taken over by a Dutch company in the early 2000s. But as I say, it was a chemical company, so they dealt in things like pesticides and pharmaceuticals. So as I say, it was a very important company in its own time. Here on the right-hand side, we have Lambeth Bridge. I won't go over it. There was originally, the first bridge was a suspension bridge that was built here in 1862, and that was taken down and replaced with the present bridge that went up in 1929. Okay, so this is Millbank, ladies and gentlemen. We're just walking down Millbank, and this large building here on the right hand side, the headquarters of MI5. These are the people who conduct surveillance on terrorists, really, I suppose. They are the sort of internal spies who look out at all sorts of operations to try and subvert the government. But anyway, this is MI5. The MI6 building, which is our spy network, is over the river. And I'll point that out to you when we get there. Over the way is the International Maritime Organization. That's on the other side of the river, and that's part of the United Nations organizing the maritime, the sea traffic. And we're just heading down here now. And what we're going to see in just a moment is the Millbank Tower. Which, when it was completed in 1963, was the tallest tower in London. Prior to that, the tallest structure in London was the Golden Cross on the top of St Paul's Cathedral, which had been put there by Sir Christopher Wren way back in the 17th century, or at least the early 18th century, and that was the highest point in London, 365 feet from pavement level. And so the Millbank Tower was really the first tall building in London after the Second World War. Of course, there are many which are now much, much taller, but this one was the first one. And here we are, the Millbank Tower. Again, it has been the headquarters of in its time, of the Labour Party and of the Conservative Party and other political organisations who have their headquarters here and who operate from here to lobby Parliament. So let's get out of the sun. Let's try and, I think you can see more. Yes, this is the forecourt. What we're doing now is just making our way down from here, past the Millbank Tower, towards the Tate Britain. And the Tate Britain is now one of two art galleries. Originally you had the Tate Gallery, which was created by a sugar magnate, part of Tate and Lyle. He made an enormous fortune, and he endowed the people of London with a gallery for modern art, and this was going back to 1903. So their ideas of what was modern art are not what we call modern art. But anyway, he opened up the Tate Gallery here, and in the year 2000 they split this up. So you have the Tate Britain, which is a gallery that specialises in British painting, really from about the year 1600 up to the present day. You have all the great names of British painting: Dobson, Hogarth, Reynolds, Constable, Gainsborough, Turner, and many more modern painters. Of course, you have the pre-Raphaelites as well. They're all represented in the Tate Britain. The Tate Modern, which you've already seen in my previous videos, really deals with international artists. Anyway, we'll just go up here just a little way, and you'll see the building for yourself. Now, what makes this historically interesting is that the Tate Gallery was built on the site of the Millbank Penitentiary, and the Millbank Penitentiary was at the time it was a revolutionary breakthrough in penal reform. Throughout the 18th century, if you had somebody going to prison, they were just dumped in prison and left to rot with all the other prisoners. But with the arrival of the 19th century, people started taking the idea that prisoners should be reformed, that their characters should be improved, and well, that was basically the thinking. Of course, the building has long since vanished, but this is the Tate Gallery, or at least I should say the Tate Britain as it stands today. So 1791, Jeremy Bentham, the prison reformer, put forward his own ideas for prison reform, and his ideas were that the prisoners should be separated from each other and they should be kept under constant surveillance. So the original penitentiary was built as a hexagon, and you had somebody right at the very centre keeping their eyes on everybody, and although the prisoners could not see each other, they could be seen. So work started in 1813, completed in 1821, and it was from here, well, this is what makes it historically interesting, especially for people from Australia, is that in those days what they did was transport people from Millbank and resettle them in Australia. And they went from here. And these were the prisoners of Millbank. And they used to have to wear a shirt with the letters P-O-M, prisoner of Millbank. And that's why they were known as the Poms, or the Pommies. But the prison itself was demolished in 1903, and then completely demolished. As I say, well, it was obviously demolished before that because the Tate Gallery was built a little bit before. So that is a monument to Sir Henry Tate. And we're almost coming to the end of this video. What time have we got now? It's a rather shorter video than the last one, but that's all right. We're approaching Vauxhall Bridge, and I shan't go over Vauxhall Bridge on this occasion. I'll do it on another occasion. But as we're making our way down here, perhaps if you look through the trees, I'll see if I can get you a vision of this, a view of this. Oh, hang on, what we've got here? Enzo Plazzotta Jetty. It's a sculpture, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. Now, across the way here, across the River Thames, you can see the MI6 building. I've showed you the MI5 building. This is the MI6 building. This is the building which appears in all the James Bond movies. Sometimes it gets blown up in those movies, but for some miraculous way it's suddenly completely rebuilt as it was before. So anyway, that is the MI6 building on the banks of the River Thames. The next bridge along is Vauxhall Bridge, and as I say, I'm not going to go up there. I will do, but not at the present moment. So what I'm doing now, I think video is just trailing out, so what I propose to do is shut down and come back on another day. So I'll say over and out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Please, will you, just a moment, can I just ask you please, ladies and gentlemen, to like and subscribe, and to leave any comments below, just to let me know what you've liked about the video, or if you haven't liked anything at all about the video. That's useful to know, then I'll get some idea about what sort of things I should be producing. Since we're now making our way up towards the end, there's another little pub up here which is a suitable place, I think, to round off. And it's called the Morpeth Arms. And is there any information about it? No, there isn't. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much if you've been listening. I will now sign out and see you another day.